we're going to go ahead and continue here with our pre-race media availability for Sunday's Bad Boy Off-Road 300. And we're now joined by Carl Edwards, driver of the number 19 Comcast Business Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Carl, right now you're fighting for a spot in the next round of the chase. Don't have a win here in New Hampshire, but how nice would it be to leave here with a victory and secure your race, secure your place in the round of 12?
That'd be great. It did not, things didn't start the way we wanted them to at Chicago. So, you know, we come here to a track that we've had a lot of speed at lately. It's Dave Rogers' home track. His father's here. He said he's got some friends and family coming, so it'd be a really great place to get a victory. And then we'll head to Dover, another good track for us, so we feel pretty good.
Good deal. We'll open the floor to questions, and we'll get a wireless mic to you. Raise your hand. We'll start back with Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. I wonder what you feel like makes this track so challenging, because all of the drivers say it's such a difficult track.
It's very difficult. It's, you know, if you look at a track map or a satellite view, I mean, it's about the most straightforward track we go to. It's a true oval. It's a mile. It's pretty flat, and that's what makes it so tough. It's you know, everyone can get around here really well. It's that last little bit, you know, trying to figure out how to pass people. It's very hard here. Your car has to be very good. You know, it's deceivingly tough. I mean, it really, it's you know, you can go pretty good, but that one last bit is hard. I just lived it there in qualifying trim. Had one set of laps, it was really fast, make a couple little mistakes, and you know, the next set's really slow, so it's tough.
We'll go to Lewis, and then we'll go over to Mark.
Oh,
Hey,
Lewis Frank, hi. Lewis Frank of Reuters. Your past and current teammate, Matt Kenseth's going for his third straight win here, and he said, kind of ironically, this used to be one of his worst tracks, and the miles and a half were your old strength at Roush Fenway. Have you noticed improvement here since joining Joe Gibbs?
You know, Matt is. I went bicycling with Matt last week, and I'd say he's somehow figured out how to age backwards now. He's getting faster. He's getting stronger. He's you know, he's figured something out here for sure, and that gives guys like me hope. You know, you go to these places and hope that you figure something out. But really, I think it. You know, seriously, I think it's our team. You know, the JGR Toyotas are very good. The cars are good. Our teammates, you know, Matt and I's teammates, Kyle and Denny, are very good here, and you know, all of that stuff adds up to more speed.
We'll go to Mark and then to Matt.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Carl, last week it seemed like going into Chicago, everything's on an up, everybody's kind of equal ground. Does it start to ramp up now? I mean, if you should have some kind of issue this weekend, you know you're facing Dover. So what do you think?
Right, yeah, Chicago was frustrating, and I was real upset about it for about a day. If we have a bad day here, I'm going to be real upset about it for about 3 or 4 days. And then if you have a bad day at Dover, you're going to be upset for the rest of the year. So it is, it's tough, but this format allows you to hang on to the idea of going out and winning. And each of us have different strengths at different racetracks. We feel like we can run really well here, but we're certain we can go to victory lane at Dover. So, you know, you just stay in there and dig, and we had some really neat meetings. Dave Rogers, I got the chance to, you know, we've never been through this before, and although Chicago is tough, we sat down on Monday, and his spirit and the way he wants to go compete, I mean, that guy never gives up, so it's pretty exciting to come racing with him.
As a follow-up to that, how tough a track is Dover being race 3? We've talked about, you know, Talladega being a potential minefield, but is Dover one of those tracks that also could be very difficult if you went there either having to win or having to have a great finish?
Yeah, I've always felt like Dover was you know, pretty straightforward, and we always ran pretty well there, but I got a taste of the other side of it this spring. You know, we had a car that I felt like we were, on that last restart, we were going for the victory, and things got choked up a little bit, and I ran across Larson's hood, and it went from, you know, deciding how I was going to do my backflip to you know, finding my way to the medical center. I mean, it was not, it was over in a hurry, and that can happen at Dover. So, you know, that's that.
Okay, we'll go to Matt and then over to Pat.
Matt Weaver, racer and Auto Week. Carl, kind of on a similar note, do you start to count points after one race of 3, or does it?
Man, I mean, the points are obviously important. I mean, it might be what makes a difference, but I think right now you go as hard as you can. You try to win, try to get every point, every position you can. I didn't look at the points. I saw them on the screen there earlier, but I'm not even sure what points position we're in yet. So no, I guess no, not yet.
And lastly, the change to the post-race penalty system NASCAR issued. Thoughts on that?
We actually had a meeting at Comcast Business. They have pretty robust technical abilities. They said they can make that LAS say anything they want, but we're just going to keep it fair, though. We're not going to implement that. We'll just stay within the rules. And, seriously, NASCAR, I think, responded in the best way that they could. This is they police this sport the way we have asked them to police it. That we want to know that we're racing other cars, evenly, that nobody has an advantage. But then you get put in these situations like what happened last week where the penalties, are really unequal. And I think NASCAR did a good job responding to that. And, I feel like we're going to go through this chase and we're going to have as fair of a chase as we can, and that's good.
Go to your left to Pat and then up to Bob.
Pat DeCole at NASCAR.com. I'm sure by now you know that we're looking at lows in the 40s on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a specific technical aspect to that, but as a driver, are there any particular challenges?
It's actually pretty excited. I got some really neat JGR gear that I haven't been able to wear yet. So I brought out my neat jacket that I like, but really, I think it's going to be comfortable for the fans. It'll be comfortable for the drivers. There'll be a little more grip. It looks like tomorrow will be representative of Sunday, so I don't think it'll have much of an effect on the race. I think it'll just be good for everybody.
Go to Bob and then to Rich.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. How does your team weigh risk versus reward on how close to get to that tolerance now post-race LIS? Because if you were over okay, it's 10 points.
Right.
Now it's 35 points, 3 weeks, and more.
Who actually gets 3 weeks vacation? Who is it? Is a car chief involved in that too, or is it just a crew chief?
It could be.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry, Carl, you're going to have to stay in the seat.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. What was the question?
The question is, how do you balance risk versus reward?
Well-
Now the risk is more to be close to whatever the new tolerance.
Well, I mean, this is an extremely competitive sport, so just like anything else, you definitely don't want to finish the race and realize it didn't count, and and then give your crew chief all that time off. That's just not right. But you also don't want to finish the race second or third and realize that you weren't taking it, pushing as hard as the guys that beat you. So you just go right up to the edge. But I'm pretty sure everyone will be a little bit conservative. It's NASCAR's put a pretty bold line in the sand there, and nobody wants to test that out.
Rich and then the Claire.
Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Does the proximity between the July and the September race kind of help with your game planning, since it's still kind of fresh in your mind?
I think so, a little bit. The difference is the weather now. That if we were racing today, it'd be one thing, but that cooler weather is going to change things. And plus, this sport evolves so quickly. I mean, just what we were talking about with all the games going on. I mean, everything is just it always moves forward. It feels like a new racetrack every time you come somewhere, even if they're close.
Go back to Claire and then to Lewis.
Claire Beeline, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. To Bob's point in being serious, you're not the crew chief, and you probably leave it in his hands when it comes to pushing the line. You don't really get involved in that, do you?
No, not at all. I haven't crawled on a car for a long time. I hate to admit that, but no, it's just, we do all we can. Coach Gibbs is very clear, though. He, he doesn't ever want to step out of the box. He's a competitor that likes to go compete and do it the right way, and that's been made very clear. And so we'll just, hopefully be, hopefully we'll have a similar piece of hardware to race against our competitors, and we'll go and best man wins, and there won't be any issues. I don't think we'll have any trouble.
We'll go to Lewis and then we'll finish up with Mark.
Yeah, Lewis Frank Reuters again. Folks at the engineers at TRD probably say, the more the merrier, more data points, the better.
Right.
You got Martin Truex next year, Eric Jones.
Yeah.
Is there ever any kind of family jealousy that Martin or any other driver is taking wins away from JGR?
Oh, it's awful. I mean, we have this group text where, where somebody does well, you send them and I was like, man, it's so frustrating. They got that win and we didn't, But that's just the way it is. It's competition, and I think it's very healthy to compete against one another the way we do, but also to help one another. And I mean, Martin has been amazing. I mean, you guys have seen it. from the outside. From the inside, Martin has just done an amazing job. Him and Cole. It's been really cool to work with him. He just really humble and understated, and then goes out there and just hauls the mail. So it's cool to see that.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Final question. You mentioned the bike ride with Matt Kenseth. Is that a leisurely ride, a competitive ride? How do you guys? What's something like that like?
I thought it was going to be leisurely, and it was a pretty hard ride. All these guys are working so hard, getting so fit. But yeah, Matt truly, he won't say anything about it, but he's really, he can go. He's fast. So that was fun.
Carl, thanks for joining us today. Good luck this weekend.
Cool. All right, thank you.